Do you like to read books? I do. Although, if I'm honest, I say I read a lot of books, and I collect a lot of books. I do have lots of books, but maybe I don't read as many as I'd like to. It's hard to find the time, but I have some points here. Maybe this girl behind us, she would agree. Points that make reading seem more important or something to think about. Let's see. Okay, I've got here the first one is by Harry Truman, the American president. He said, "Not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are readers." In other words, if you want to be a leader, be a president, you need to read a lot. He should tell that to the current president of America. But anyway, let's move on. The next one is by Alain de Botton. He was a Swiss Englishman from Switzerland. His parents were from Switzerland, but he's kind of a philosopher. He says, trying to understand the complex world around us with sound bites and headlines is like trying to understand a Tolstoy novel, one shouted sentence at a time. In other words, I think he's talking about he doesn't like the idea of news and reading in a newspaper or reading on Twitter or X or something, just little sound bites, little bits. You can't understand a difficult thing like life. It's like trying to read a Tolstoy novel. Tolstoy was the Russian novelist who wrote War and Peace. It's a thick, thick book. Anyway, you can't understand it one shout at a time, right? You have to sit down, spend time, like this girl, reading a book. The next one is a book, fiction or non-fiction, is an invitation to daydream. It's a co-production. The reader both performs the book and is the audience at the same time. That's by Peter Mendelssohn. I'm not sure who he is, but um, it's an interesting idea. Yeah, when you're reading a book, yes, the author wrote the book, but when you read it, you have to provide the imagination. You interpret the book. You have the picture in your brain of what the characters look like, just from those little symbols, just from those little words. So you are more involved when you're reading. It's an old technology reading, but actually you become like the director of your own movie. And that's the script that you have. Maybe. I like this one, last one. By the age of 70, they who don't read will have lived only one life. They who read will have lived 5,000 years. Umberto Eco, he was an Italian author and university professor. Yeah, I like that. The idea that if you read a lot, you're reading other people's lives and experiences. You could live for 5,000 years by reading other people's knowledge. If you never read, you only have your own knowledge. So it's a way of being immortal, of living forever, maybe. Okay, let's see. Now, I have some questions. Number one, what are the pros and cons of reading books? Pros, good points, cons, bad points. What are the pros and cons of reading books? Number two, do fewer people read books these days? If so, why? Number three, are books the best way of passing on information to others? Is there a better way? Is there something better than books for passing information? Okay, thank you very much. We'll have a think about that, and I'll see you again. Thank you.